Hi, this is Chaz Palminteri, and if you're thinking about getting your eyes done, the only person to see is Dr. Rothman of LASIK of Nevada. I flew all the way from New York to be here, and Dr. Rothman did my eyes. And all I could say is, it's a miracle. I could see. You see Dr. Rothman of LASIK of Nevada.
From the Strip in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Pub Crawl, where each week we struggle to recall our adventures in and around Las Vegas, giving a unique perspective on the best places to tear it up in the entertainment capital of the world. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Alicia and David Ivey.
Welcome to Pub Crawl, hello and welcome to Pub Crawl, the #1 source of Vegas-y drinking goodness. I am David, and tonight, I don't think I wore deodorant, and it's becoming pretty obvious about now. You know, you ever forget? And I just did a check, I just forgot.
You get that little whiff when you put your arm, you're like, whoa.
And then I had to check, I'm like, oh, no, I didn't. Anyways, Alicia, being a little absent this evening due to circumstances beyond our control. Filling in, one of our favorite people, Mr. Portland Dave.
How's it going out there?
So, let's get started. Now, if you want to email us, pubcrawl@vegasvideonetwork.com. That's pubcrawl@vegasvideonetwork.com. That way you can write us your little stories and tales and questions and blah, blah, blah. Also, follow us on Twitter. We personally are the LV Locals. The network itself is Vegas Video Network. Also, the toll-free listener line without looking is 866-966-4599. That's because I call it all the time. It's like my phone sex, but it's not. But, KSHP, 1400 AM every Friday night. The whole network's on. Not the whole network, but a lot of the network. There's just one show that ain't on, but that's all right. The Dirty Show. Also, Roku, which is so cool. I can't even stand it. You know what? If you lose your Roku remote control, you can use your iPhone to do Roku. That's what I heard. Because I was telling a friend of mine who's had Roku forever. I'm like, oh, isn't Roku awesome? And we're talking about how good it is. And I said, my favorite thing is how awesome the remote is. It's got 4 buttons. It's great. Why don't all remotes like that? And he goes, you know what? I lost my remote 6 months ago. I just use my iPhone.
Wow.
What do you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? All right, speaking of iTunes and iPhones and all that Macintosh stuff, iTunes, we are on there, audio and video. Also YouTube, just video. Without further ado, I got to get this started right off the bat because this is going to be a heck of a segment on this week's Cocktail of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, Portland Dave and I are friends from years back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we met at a very special place. The Green Door over on, I'm kidding. That's a swingers club here in town, if you don't know. No, we met at Star Trek The Experience. That was at the Las Vegas Hilton. We've talked about it many a time. In fact, there's some probably people in chat room right now that we also met there.
Probably.
So, as in honor of that and our friendship that's now coming on its 4th year. Yes. Yeah. We're going to make, ladies and gentlemen, the big baddie, the James T. Kirk. Woo. Yes, it's the James T. Kirk, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Vodka, rum, gin, Curacao, 7-Up, and sweet and sour. That says, yes, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots of booze and 30 shots of other stuff. We're not going to do it that way, but that's how it's meant to do. Normally, if you've been there, you saw it came in a humongous punch bowl.
Big enough to share, but you may not want to share it.
Right, you at least share 2, but you wouldn't want to. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I think I figured this out. Basically, it's a Long Island iced tea is what it is. Yeah. Actually, with the Curacao, it's an electric iced tea. That's in the nuclear iced tea is the Maduri instead, and Long Island's just Coke. Anyway, so what I'm going to do. This might work, this might not. Is it going to be a complete...
We're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
We're experimenting, folks.
I'm going to make I'm going to make just all the booze in a little plastic container, which it might burn right through the hole at the bottom.
It probably will.
And then then I'm going to make separate drinks out of the concoction that we're going to put together here. So, as I said, 1 ounce of vodka, which you know me in ounces. I don't know what an ounce is, but I don't pour an ounce. So, but you know what, this time, no, I'm going to do my regular 1.5 ounce. Whoa,
Oops,
or maybe 2.
No, maybe.
This doesn't have that little protective
that little
thing
on
the end
there.
of it. It just goes.
Little screen or whatever that is.
Rum. All right, white rum. Doesn't matter your brand. This used to be all Bacardi products at Star Trek, but that was about one, too.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Now, moving on to gin.
Gin will make you sin, folks.
Yes, and we'll get to what this is going to do to you.
Look,
I haven't had one
drink,
yet.
he's already knocking it over.
Then 1 ounce of Curacao, right? Which I always used to call Curaçao, but it's not.
Isn't it Curaçao?
No, it's Curacao. It's named after the place.
Curacao.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
It's an orange-flavored liqueur. And then, so that's basically the booze. Well, that doesn't look too bad.
Not too bad. It's just a little bit.
Wow, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now, throw that around, is just make 2 drinks out of it. Well, maybe more than 2.
Yeah, probably. Ice cubes would probably melt on contact.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do is do about a shot of this. Goodness. Gracious.
Almighty.
Right?
Yeah,
it's about right.
That looks good.
Then fill up the rest with sweet and sour. I go a little light on the sweet and sour. It's supposed to be half equal parts sweet and sour and 7-Up, but you know what? We're going to go a little heavier on the 7-Up. And fill the rest of 7-Up.
There we go.
And this is one of the prettiest, strongest, and named after the great Captain Kirk.
James T. Kirk.
Yes. What kind of alcohol is that? It's orange liqueur. Yeah, it's actually real simple. In fact, the original is just orange Curacao. Being not blue-colored, but it was, this is just dyed blue. And look at this.
Look at that.
Brett and Lisa just wrote, Shields!
Shields up! There you go. Matches your shirt.
Does.
The James T. Kirk.
There we go. How about that? Wore the shirt for this occasion.
Oh, all right. Yep, phasers are on high. Wow. Okay. Shields. So, it's supposed to be in them big.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit because now we're drinking a Star Trek drink.
Yes.
If you don't know, Mr. Portland Dave moved from Portland to Las Vegas about 9 months ago, right?
9 months ago.
Liking it?
I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Best city in the world?
I don't regret it.
Yeah. We're going to talk.
Best city in the world. That is for sure.
Yeah, I think so. And you drive a cab. Last time you were out, we had a lot of questions about your cab driving stuff.
I did, yeah.
That was a
pretty good.
great episode. You go back and get a lot of insight into how to not get long hauled and how to, all that. Still liking that? Still doing that?
Yep, still doing that. Still doing
awesome.
Good. Got all my benefits now, and
right.
It's going great. I'm loving it.
Killer.
And by the way, you guys that saw that episode, thank you. And you asked all those questions. Thank you for those questions.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate it.
Oh, actually, it turned out to be kind of like even after the fact, lots of questions came in about. Oh, but what about what does this mean and how much money do they actually carry on them? So it's going to
yeah,
roll on.
the good ones.
And we were, since Alicia's not here tonight, we were not going to do a drunk term of the week, but we are going to because you just mentioned
it just came out
what this is going to do to us.
You keep drinking it. We used to say back in the military, if you drink these things, you're going to get swolled up. You're going to get swole.
Swole.
You're going to get swole.
There we go.
I'm swole.
Term of the week, which we're going to be here shortly. Actually, I'm going to be going about 3 weeks straight of being swole because the last 2 weeks were absinthe. And
you had the absinthe?
By the end of last week's episode,
Oh, you were done?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh, my
I don't even know
Lord.
what camera I was looking at. Anyway. So, now that we're going to get our swole on.
Get our swole on.
And get our swole up. We're going to take a quick station ID. We're going to come back with the penultimate, our great pub crawl adventure.
Oh, it was a good one.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong.
The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit VegasVideoNetwork.com.
Wow, man, it's getting a little jungly in here. Jungle smelling in here.
Yeah.
Little jungle boogie.
Look out.
We'll have to wash this shirt. By the way, okay, in honor of this, so Alicia goes out of town. I'm like, what are we going to do for the show?
No.
So we got to bring in Portland Dave. That's just a guarantee. So we planned on, let's do a thing on Friday night. We'll go out. We'll tear it up. But then Friday night rolls around, and some friends, speaking of, some Star Trek people, it's a big community of people that used to hang out at the Hilton when the Star Trek was open.
Yeah.
So people were in town.
Yeah, it was great.
So we ended up going there. So we had to do our adventure another day. But we did have an impromptu adventure at the Las Vegas Hilton, which let me just start by saying, since the Quarks, the Star Trek thing left, and the economy took a crap, that place has gone down the tubes.
It has.
But
So sad.
I gotta say, Friday night
I'll tell you
was
what.
a blast.
That's the most fun I think I've had at the Hilton in a long time.
In
since
4
the
years, I
closing.
think, or
it was
whatever.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
Well, I'm going to ask you a few things because you go there a little more often than I do. And so basically, the back side of the Hilton where the Star Trek Express used to be, right out front of that was the big Space Quest Casino.
Yeah.
Which, if anybody's been there, it's really cool. If you're into spacey stuff, it's great. It's no longer even a casino, barely. I mean, they've got a couple.
Yeah.
What do they call that thing now?
It's called the Oasis.
Okay, and they put a dance floor in.
Yeah, it's a nightclub now.
Okay.
Well, it's a nightclub on Fridays and Saturdays. It's free. They got complete with dress code and everything else.
Right.
But it's totally, that's the vibe. They got couches and sofas and tables.
It's big. It's not like it's a tight little knit space.
No,
it's
huge.
Space Quest Casino is now like a dance floor.
Not as many video games as there was before.
They play the videos up on the big screens.
But without the sound.
Oh, right.
You notice that?
Okay.
Remember they used to have the sound up on there? Now they don't. So now it's just one big nightclub. It's called the Oasis.
And I got to say,
I had a blast.
The
DJ was good. I mean,
well, granted, we had a bunch of people with us, but I got to say, really good. I mean, the DJ was great. He played kind of what they call it, old school hip hop.
Old school hip hop.
Right. So it was like Bobby
old school
Brown.
R&B, Cameo.
Right.
And they showed the video. And the cool thing is that they actually know when they were doing that.
He did it. Right.
He did it. He actually had mixed the song into the video and then into the next video. It was really neat how they did that.
Right.
And you see, whoa, look at their hairstyles back in the 80s.
Oh, man, yeah. It's Belle DeVoe, some Marge, all that kind of old school.
Yeah.
And it was great. People were having, it wasn't a young, hip crowd by any stretch. It wasn't like going to Pure or.
Right. It was not your clubby kind of crowd.
No, but it was actually really fun. Everybody's having a really good time. They filled it in. I mean, it's got quite a few people.
There was a lot of people there. That's the most I've seen.
I got to say, Hilton, that's the one thing you've done right in a long time is that place. Absolutely. Now, the other big lounge there is Tempo, which I guess is okay. I've hit a Royal Flush there once.
There you go.
That's my claim to fame at the Tempo. They're having a big Michael Jackson thing on the 11th. You notice that?
At the Tempo?
11. To be closed down. Anybody that wants to sing Michael Jackson or talk about Michael Jackson or whatever, it's a big Michael Jackson.
Really?
At Tempo. I thought that was kind of interesting.
That's interesting.
I didn't. And Tempo's like their little lounge. Used to be the casino bar. A little expensive for the Hilton.
Yeah, the drinks were kind of high.
That's kind of the case in all of the Hilton, though.
Oh yeah.
For what it is.
What it is, exactly. I mean, rum and Coke is, $9 for rum and Coke.
And the
little tiny little ones,
orange juice
little
glass.
casino glasses, as they call them.
Not.
That's why it's better to just put 10 in the machine or whatever.
Right, gamble.
Gamble.
Well, see, the Hilton is a very gambler-friendly place.
Yes.
I think I've won 2 Royal Flushes there. It's the only place I've won a Royal Flush. I've won it twice there.
One at Tempo and one at Space Quest?
Space Quest, yes. And so I always just play there.
Nice.
They're one of those good places. We'll talk about this later. If you're playing, you're good to go.
Oh, yeah.
They're really gamer-friendly. So that's a guaranteed, don't buy the drink, gamble.
Exactly.
Other places, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, buy the drink.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to
Exactly.
So Oh, that reminds me. So Las Vegas Hilton is not going to be Las Vegas Hilton.
It's not going to be Las Vegas Hilton as of January 1st. For those of you who don't know, who travel, come here. It's going to be called the Las Vegas Hotel, LVH. They did a similar thing in Atlantic City. The company Destinations International took Atlantic City Hilton and called it ACH. They took the Hilton name away because the licensing didn't get renewed. So now it's the Atlantic City Hotel, ACH. It's going to be the Las Vegas Hotel, LVH.
Well, that's kind of good because they, the little fact, they used to be the International, the Las Vegas Hilton, and they took that I from International and just turned it sideways as the H, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Now keeping it LVH, they can still keep that, which is on all the tiles and everything. Is that
it
I.
Looks like an I on the tiles, but it could look like an H.
Right, and it'll still be an H. Yeah. So they got to pull that humongous sign. That's like the biggest sign in the world,
The biggest sign in the world is going to have to come down. I don't know how the heck they're going to do that.
That's going to be kind of like an implosion. I'm sure they're going to have to.
I wonder if they're just going to take the Hilton name off of that and just put LVH and keep the fans.
I would imagine.
Because the fan's not necessarily their logo, is it?
No.
Yeah, they keep the fan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
sign, man.
Speaking of that, when we were sitting in there, you were telling me something about Sahara, which is right across the street. You said Sahara's reopening?
From what I understand, they're reopening. I was in the cab,
right.
I was driving down the street, and a radio announcement came on the news. They said, good news, Las Vegas. The City Commission may approve the reopening of the Sahara. And what they're planning on doing, for those of you who missed the Sahara, this is old school, they're going to actually take out the roller coaster ride that was in there.
Right.
They're going to put a beer garden there.
Really?
And then they're going to redo the rooms and redo the casino, and it's going to reopen. And they're looking probably to start working on it summer of 12.
Really? Start working or start opening?
God, that's a lot of work to do. I would probably imagine start working on it, I would think. I mean, if they can open it by then, though, that'd be great.
That's crazy, because when they close, everybody went, that's it.
I know,
They're going to implode it, and that's going to be the end of it.
Yeah, they're not going to implode it. They're going to keep it up, and they're going to
reopen.
They got the permits approved.
Well, I got to say, that end of the strip can use some love.
I need some help.
And now that the Hilton, I got to say, is kind of doing well. And there was a lot of people that maybe that end of the strip isn't dead. Maybe. They got to get rid of Fontainebleau, or Fontainebleau.
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 Now, aren't they just going to rip that down?
They're going to have to.
Because that's...
the structural integrity is not...
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Ours is either.
Structural integrity, Captain. It's been compromised. So they're actually, they're going to have to, because, with all the rain that comes down, especially across the street with Echelon, the same thing, all those frames are going to get rusty. And then everything else, if they leave it that way too much longer, it's going to just come down.
I want them to take it down. I hate having this corpse of a
building. It's going to hurt everybody, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean you want them? You don't.
Yeah,
you want
down.
them to,
yeah. I hate having that big ugly eyesore.
Yeah.
It's you know what it is?
It's an eyesore.
It's a big failure. You know what I mean? It shows. You know what I mean? It
shows that with that latest failure.
I hate
especially
that.
in that end of the strip too.
I know, pull it down. Pull it down.
Yeah.
But winning Encore being. I mean, we're talking about properties that are a block from here.
A block.
Right. They're right in front of us.
Exactly. You can walk there.
In fact, last week I was checking in at a place right here. Might have been Riviera, might have been Slots of Fun, might have been Circus, and I could check in at the Viva McDonald's, the Riviera, or Pub Crawl on Vegas Video Network.
Really?
That was a location. Thank you, Zig, for making that location on Pub Crawl, on Foursquare. So I checked it on there.
Nice.
So anyway, we did the Hilton, A+ Hilton.
Yeah.
I would go back.
Yeah.
And plus, it felt like home to us to have a good time there.
And it was great because all of our old friends were in town.
Great.
And they surprised us.
Yeah, it was killer. It was killer.
Great.
So then Alicia and I went on Saturday and had an adventure you won't even believe. Stay tuned next week. Then Sunday, we didn't set out to spend no money, but we spent no money and had the best time. Hear that, Alicia? I didn't spend any money.
That's right. It's okay, Alicia.
We went out and had the cheapest date ever.
We did.
I mean, in fact, I was looking for the cocktail of the week. I was looking for there is a cocktail called Cheap Date, Cheap Sunglass. I was looking for something cheap to fit into the theme. Those all had stuff that it's like malt liquor and Tabasco. You're like, wow. So anyway, we started at a place that we go to all the time. But we never really talk about ever because, Ellis Island Casino. Jacob, Ellis Island Casino. There it is. This place, infamous. We used to go there before we lived here.
Yeah.
We have had times there I can't even believe. But since we started doing this show, which is about a year and 2 weeks, episode 53, by the way, it's kind of not been what I always expected it and what it used to be to me. If you don't know, it's right behind Bally's. It's infamous. If you come to Vegas at all, you know where Ellis Island is. It's behind Bally's. It's connected to a hotel, not a Motel 6. It's a 9.
No, Super 8.
Super 8. I knew it was some number, and which is connected. It's known for its barbecue. It's known for its steaks. It's known for its incredible killer casino and its karaoke. That's what it's known, and it's microbrews. In fact, 24-hour restaurant, microbrewery, karaoke lounge. There's Metro Pizza inside, which sells by the slice. Free parking, voted #1 brewery in Nevada, and the Mountain West region, and the #9 brewery in the USA by National Brewers Association.
Imagine that.
Their beer is pretty incredible.
It's really good, and it's cheap.
It's what's $1.50?
It's $1.75.
Okay.
But it's $1 if it's during football.
Okay, but that's a pint.
No, it's 22 ounces.
22.
It's 22 ounces.
Okay, that's more than a pint.
For $1. Really? Drink 10 of those, man. Come on.
How much is a pint? I mean, no. I mean, how many ounces is a pint?
16. This is a pint.
Oh, is it?
This is 16.
Okay.
So 22. So yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's more than that.
It's educational, ladies and gentlemen.
Education.
See? It is. So, 22 ounces for $1.75.
$1.75.
$1 during football. This happened to be during
football.
But it doesn't. This is micro. But they make it there. In fact, I've seen it on Food Network. I've seen this place, or Travel Channel, and all that. And when they're out of beer, they're out.
Yeah.
Like they'll say, okay, we're out of the Hefeweizen, or we're out of the lager, we're out of the stout, whatever. They only make so much a day.
Yeah.
They also sell it off to the places that they own.
Village Pub.
Yeah, Village Pub. They don't sell it off, but they serve it there as well. I think they're $2 there. I think it's an extra, whatever.
Sure, delivery.
Yeah. No big deal. Okay, so the beer is awesome, right? It's $1.75. Normally $1.75. That's it. Buck during football. Now football was on, so it was $1. So I went in and I got. You were already there. You had a beer. I said I'll take an amber. I usually do the stout. I gotta say the amber I liked a little better.
Amber's good.
And then they have food deals.
Oh.
Okay, there's a couple things about Ellis Island that used to rub me wrong. Now, their restaurant, steakhouse is supposed to be awesome. But I'll never know because you can't order from the bar from that restaurant. It's this weird thing they have. I think you might be able to now because it's kind of changed, but it's still confusing. You had to. Alicia and I've never talked about it because it's too hard to talk about because it's too confusing.
It's confusing.
They tell us, oh, you need a card, then you can, but you get it to go, but you don't. You just sit in here. It's this weird.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just want to have a beer and eat. It's not really a big deal. You can't. Also, their barbecue, world famous barbecue. I put that like $8 or $7.
$7.99 for a. No, I'm sorry, $12.99 for a full rack.
Okay.
With all the fixings.
Okay.
$7.99 for half rack.
Okay, and I know there's some other deal where you get like chicken and ribs and like it's anyway.
Yeah.
But you can't get that in the casino.
No.
You have to go out in their little front patio where they cook it. You can't eat it. It confuses the crap out of me.
And they won't let you take it to go either.
Right.
Even if you're already in the restaurant.
Right.
They won't let you take it to go. If you already ate like some of it and you want to take it, they won't let you do that.
Right. It's really bizarre.
They want to keep you in the casino is the idea.
Right.
Feed him. They're going to be too full to move. His ass is going to be sitting in front of video poker for a while.
Right, exactly. That would be their benefit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's really confusing, so we never really got the vibe of it. So all we ever did was went into the bar, which is amazing where the karaoke is. Every night, by the way, is karaoke. And we'd walk over to Metro Pizza, which is awesome, and get a couple slices and just walk them over.
Yeah, they got the 2-for-1 Sundays on pizza there, too. It's 2-for-1 slices and 2-for-1 pies. It's like $15. You get 2 18-inch 3-topping pizzas. I'm like, damn, I got dinner for 2 weeks.
And that they'll let you take out of there.
They'll let you take that out of there.
So we went there. Now, it was football. So there were $1 tacos.
Yep.
And as my favorite commercial says, I like tacos.
I like tacos.
And I love that guy.
I do too.
There's $1 wings. Now, they're not $1 wings. They're $1 for 5 wings. And what else? $1 dogs.
$1 dogs.
Okay, so there's $1 beer, $1 dogs, $1 wings, five
wings for $1.
and $1 tacos.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the wings, which weren't very good. Luckily, this is the problem with Ellis Island. Luckily, you were there to tell me that's not their regular wings.
That's not the regular wings. No.
Guys.
That's the $1 wings.
They sell different wings for the $1 than they do the regular wings. That's bad news because I didn't. Hours later, I was like, I didn't like Ellis Island's wings. Those weren't their real wings. Dude, they got to mention that because
Yeah.
you'd walk out of there going, their wings are
So they're not going to sell enough wings now because they're not as good.
Right, they'll go those.
But their real wings are good. They're breaded and they're
Really?
big, juicy, and in a big basket with fries, $7.99.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, but
Those
I would.
things, yeah. those
Yeah,
are-
they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Either don't offer them for a buck or put your best foot forward. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this is the funniest or craziest thing. That's not the craziest thing that's ever happened to me at a bar in Vegas, but was a guy next to us, little chatty. That guy,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was.
little chatty.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and he was a little chatty in our conversation.
It's like and we were talking quiet. I mean, we were talking like this. And
He's like, you know what you got to do? Like,
Yeah.
You know what we got to do is move away from you. Is what we got to
I
do.
know. Like,
So anyway, he was all right, but
Yeah.
okay, he had like a $10 because Elson does that. Like they had like he must have been his birthday or something, like a $10 gift certificate. You've had that too, like
Yeah.
free play, $10.
Yeah.
So he had
Just lots.
$10 to spend in Ellis Island and couldn't.
couldn't spin it.
He couldn't. He ended up buying. Did he buy those shot glasses?
No, those are markers. Because he wanted 6 beers. He goes, can I order 6 beers? I got $6 left
Because he got
after I ate.
he got 3 tacos and 2 beers.
Yeah, and he
So
still had $6 left or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, and so she put out these shot glasses like markers.
I didn't know what those were. That's
Yeah.
funny you mentioned that.
So he like boom, he'll turn it upside down. He's ready for another beer, and
Oh.
so they can keep track of how many beers he
He
had.
literally couldn't.
Couldn't spend $10.
He said, "Can I get 6 beers?" She goes, "You want 6 beers?" I said, "Well, I'll just give them away or whatever." He had to spend the $10 and couldn't at a Vegas bar spend $10.
That's something else.
That we literally were. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. Couldn't believe it. So I think I walked out and my bill was $3.
Yeah, I think same here.
Well, because I got 2
Well,
beers. I got
$5 for me
Yeah.
because I had a beer before you got there.
Right, I think I got
and
2
tipped
beers and
her.
wings.
So yes, yeah.
No, I had
$5.
I had 2 sets of wings. So I had 10 wings and
And a wing and a dog.
And
and 2 beers. I spent $4.
yeah, mine was $3.
$4.
So okay, so now we're down $3. Like, all right. Well, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And let's go down to let's go check out some fancy business. So
Koval Krawl.
yeah, so we walked right down the street.
Yeah.
Another world famous place I cannot believe I've never walked into. Stage Door Casino. Now, if you know where this is, you know where it is, and you know where it is. It's in front of Batista's. You know where Batista's is, right behind Bill's Gambling Hall and behind the Flamingo. It's world famous Italian place. This is that little corner casino, junky little convenience store / casino bar right on the corner. You always know it because it has the sign that says 38 years left on our lease.
Yeah, something like that. I think they're down to 19.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
19.
Like 19 years left on
So
our
it means
lease.
they're not going anywhere.
I've never stepped foot in there.
You never.
Walked in there. Okay, I thought Ellis Island was cheap.
I know.
They weren't even running football deals.
I know. That was a 24 hours deal. Tell them what
We
those
go
deals
in
are.
there. There's 2 bars. Both have girls working at them. We won't say ladies, but women.
Yeah,
Right.
couple. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And they showered this week at some point.
Yeah.
And no, I'm kidding.
They were friendly.
They
So-
actually were pretty cute.
Yeah.
They're pretty cute, like shorty
Kind of
shorts.
in a
and-
trashy way. Kind
Yeah,
of,
like in a
trashy.
good way.
Yeah.
And so here it is. It's right there on Audrey Street. They're small, and okay. First off, the well drinks, not during football, are $1.50.
Period. 24/7.
Period. 24/7. Well drinks are $1.50. Let me say that again. The well drinks are $1.50.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, all right, I'll take. And
Yeah.
that's like, can I have a Jack and Coke? Yep, $1.50.
Well, homeless people could even go in there and
There
get a good
were.
drink.
Yeah.
And there were. Really, you can go in there and walking in there. Manson was in there. wasn't he?
Yeah. Charles
He
Manson.
looked like
looking.
Charles Manson.
Well, he came in. He was yelling at the girl. The girl was real cute.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, baby, that's my baby. This is my bro." And you can tell
Yeah.
one of them, his bro, I looked like he got out of jail.
Yeah.
Probably today.
He had the key to the jail, so when at night he can go back and open it up and go in there. Like Otis on Andy Griffith. Otis, he'd open the jail and go to sleep, close it.
So the well drinks, $1.50.
$1.50.
So we got a couple of those. Now here's a place, full casino. Now people are
Yeah.
gambling.
Yeah.
And I'm looking and going, why are you gambling in here?
For $1.50, you don't need to gamble.
I know. It's the same with Ellis Island. Like
get it.
at the bar, if the beer's $1, I'm not going to put 10,
I know.
$20 in a
Right.
machine and
I
get a
know.
dollar
Exactly.
drink. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Doesn't make any sense.
So they got the dogs are spinning in one of those 7-Eleven kind of things.
Ooh, the burnt ones.
But they're $1.
Yeah, but they're
And-
big.
Okay, that's why I didn't get one. I was hungry because I got a personal dog issue. I like my dog. I like my dog to bun ratio is very important to me. I like smaller dogs, bigger buns. Those were those like big dogs, A little too much dog to bun. Unless the bun's really huge.
Yeah.
Like you put it in like a beanbag size dog.
Yeah.
Then I'm all right. But anyway, so, but they also got the little, like, convenience store oven there. Mm-hmm. And they got pizzas for $4. You can get a hot dog and a beer for $2, which, of course, $1.50 shots, if anything. Bush and his shots, $2. They had the tornadoes. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you know when you go to like the convenience store out here we got stores called Rebel, which is just like a 7-Eleven or an AM/PM.
Right.
And there are these little like chimichanga long.
Like a taquito?
Taquito kind of thing, and wrapped in a little baggie.
Right.
And they're called tornadoes.
Okay.
And they've got different varieties. They've got chicken and cheese and just all kind of weird stuff. But they're actually pretty good.
Because there they had a breakfast one and a chicken one. And they're all like a buck.
And convenience store out here.
And so they had them there too.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe this place. And they have a convenience store next door. And they got what killed me is they had a cashier's cage.
Yep.
And I asked the girl, I go, what's that for? Because you've got no casino. I mean, you've got slot machines. I mean, and they got slot machines and video poker. Oh, you cash your check. Like, oh, it's one of those kind of. But it was, I'm telling you, awesome. It was a 10.
Yes.
New favorite spot? Question mark?
Oh, yes.
Maybe. I mean, that place.
That's a great place.
We mentioned that I am never going to Bill's or Flamingo without stopping in there first.
Right. In fact, what I like too about going in that place is that as soon as we walked in the door, hi guys, how you doing? I mean, they're immediately just friendly. They weren't. Some places you go into and then you sit there and you wait. You sit there.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, they say, "What can I get for you?"
Well, granted, we were some of the more non-homeless looking customers.
That's
they had.
true.
So
that's true.
We look, but we did.
Yeah.
But so I'm not to say, but anyway, great. I mean, we literally could have stayed there all day.
Yeah.
And it was packed.
Yep.
It was all dudes.
Yeah.
But dudes and grandmas.
Grandmas.
In fact, there was some grandmas that didn't appreciate your foul mouth.
My language got me in trouble in Vegas. Yeah. Oh boy, imagine that. Please don't say the F word, sir. My mom's right here. I'm sorry.
But you're gambling, sir.
You're gambling and you're
drinking them. Oh, whatever.
It's all good.
We got a chat room.
Would you take Alicia to this place?
Yo, absolutely. We're going there. We're going as soon as she gets home. That's the first place we're heading. Like airport, then.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Boom.
Oh, $1.50. $1.50. Okay, I've got a favorite place we don't really talk about much, but it's totally off the menu here. Places like Cheers that I go to a lot, or some of our local joints, Rum Runner, those places. Mm-hmm. Like Cheers, the drinks are $3. Mm-hmm. That's double the price of Stage Door. Double.
And those are little dives. Those are small little dives.
Those little dive bars that lock the door when you walk in.
Yeah.
It's $1.50 on the Strip. I mean, well, it's like a block from the Strip.
I mean, you don't need to take a cab to get there.
No,
from Flamingo.
no, it's right behind Bill's Gambling
Hall.
Hall.
Flamingo, and you're there.
Okay, Stage Door, amazing.
Stage Door.
So from there we walked right next door, well, kind of really walking kind of back towards Koval, toward Ellis Island. Mm-hmm. People know it. It's the Westin Casarina.
Casarina?
Hey, you know it as the Westin. I know it as the Westin. It used to be the Maxim. I've never been in there in my life. It's just we were walking that little neighborhood right there, right behind the Flamingo. We walked in, and it was Vegas was shot there, right? The old
show was like the first pilot episode was shot there.
Okay, it was nice.
Yeah.
We walked in. I think we used the bathroom and walked out.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it was.
It's just walk through kind of place. I mean,
it
wasn't really anything.
No. Yeah, especially after Stage Door, we're like, I'm not. Well, you know what I knew was going to happen? I'm going to walk up to the bar, casino bar.
And then they're going to do all this.
Well, it's going to be $8.
Yeah.
Like, wait, I just had a bourbon and diet for $1.50.
$1.50.
So right now, so far, my whole day, I'm under $5. Like, Rachel Ray's got to go to this.
Oh,
these
I
places.
know.
$40
a day, she'd get drunk. She'd go to Stage Door.
She'd be
get
swole.
For $40 a day.
You know how many Ellis Islands and Stage Doors you can have for $40?
Yep.
Man, I'm even with tip. I think I'm under $10 or about $10.
Right there. Yeah. Exactly. We were.
So we didn't even buy it right there. Apparently, it's nice to stay there, kind of off strip, but whatever. Yeah. We walked over to a place I didn't even know existed, which is right behind Ellis Island. You've all know it. You've all seen it, but you probably didn't recognize it. Yep. The Platinum. Now that's, if you know where Ellis Island is, which everybody does, there's a gas station on the corner, and then like some old theater, and then Ellis Island. This old theater, which I know Alicia and I've seen a dead guy in front of. And it's one of those guys. Anyway, but behind all that, it's this really nice place called the Platinum. These all sound like condoms, by the way. Maxim, Platinum. Don't they?
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Maximum
I
Platinum.
personally wear the stage door.
Stage door, yes.
Yeah, that's
Exit left.
Yeah. And or the Ellis Island. Yeah. Everybody we welcome with open arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring us your poor, your tired, your huddled
There you
masses. All right. So the I think it's James T. Kirk.
It's not a family show anymore.
All right.
I don't think it ever was a family show, but it really is not now.
So the Ellis Island shouldn't be really a condom. It should be never mind. Okay.
Just the island where they use the condom.
Yeah. So we go in the Platinum. What a nice joint.
That is beautiful.
You said you found it.
I found it by mistake. I was driving my cab one day and had to pull in there and use the little boys' room. And I walked in. You have to go through the bar to get there.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, there's a bar, and they had little table tents and happy hour. I'm like, oh, happy hour. Oh, I'll stop in here one of these days.
Right.
And so I just said, hey, we're already on the Koval Krawl.
Right.
Let's just stop in here.
So we go in there. The game was on.
Game was on.
So and it was happy hour anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got a happy hour.
So we got 2 Guinness. They were 5 apiece, right?
$5.50.
$5.50. Which after what we just spent is outrageous.
Yeah, but if we would have gone there
normally-
first, I would have been like, dang, that's a deal.
You know what
Yeah.
it reminded me of? I was in Albuquerque one time with Alicia, and we couldn't find a place to drink. We found some kind of cool hip club lounge thing at some like a I don't know, what do they call that? Like a DoubleTree or one of those kind of W.
Yeah.
It reminded me just like that. No gaming,
Nope.
just a really fancy bar
Yep.
with nobody in it. And so
Loved
we had one beer. We're like, well, at $5.50.
We actually had 2. It was happy hour 2 for 1.
Oh, right, okay.
So
yeah.
so we had 2 beers of Guinness for
Right.
$5.50.
Not
I mean,
bad.
come on, that's not a bad deal.
Problem was, we're like, you know what? Stage door's right there. Ellis Island's right there.
Yeah.
So we but it wasn't bad. I would
Yeah.
if you the only advice I would give you is if you're doing like Vegas.com or LasVegas.com or Hotels.com or Hotwire. Speaking of James T. Kirk, Hotwire is your boy William Shatner.
Oh.
James T. himself. Anyway,
Is that Hotwire or is that
Priceline. Oh,
Priceline.
yeah, Priceline. Okay. Or
Name your
Pri-
price.
Yeah.
Watch out for Mr. Big.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, for your own Priceline, any of those, and you see the Platinum come up, go ahead and stay there. It's literally a block
Away from the strip.
Yeah,
I mean, you just walk right.
and it's nice.
Yeah, it's very
Same
nice.
with the West.
The rooms are actually, I found, by the way, the rooms are actually very reasonably priced. My customers told me that they're
Okay.
very reasonably
Well,
priced.
so this is kind of just a tip, because I know before I lived here, if you said, "Oh, I want to stay on the Strip," and they always say like Strip hotel for Strip 4-star Strip hotel for $100. You're like, yeah, but which one is it?
Yeah.
If it's one of those, you're okay.
yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah, if it's Imperial Palace, no, you don't want to.
No. But if you're the West End or Platinum, go for it. Those are great.
Yeah, they are.
But we were like, well, the stage door's still open. It's open right now.
I know.
We better finish these drinks. I mean, $1.50. Oh my Lord. So anyway, we did end up over at Rum Runner, and which is another
The
local
local
joint for
joints,
us.
yeah.
And the crawl continued, but there was nothing that can compare. We're
No.
like Ellis Island.
That beat
so to recap Ellis Island, like I said, the karaoke's every single night of the week.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. And Vinny's there every night. Vinny's the Elvis.
Yeah, the little Elvis,
Yeah,
the old
little
guy.
Elvis. Yeah. Who doesn't sing like Elvis at all.
No.
But
he
one more money to the show, to get ready, go. That guy. When you see him, outside 6. But I'm gonna say now, I like Ellis Island. It's still food confusing, but now that you can order at least appetizers in the bar, you can at least get those.
You can
deals.
order regular dinner off the menu.
Now you can.
Yeah. In
Okay.
the bar.
Okay.
Up till 6 o'clock.
Oh, see now.
But no, let me tell you, the one bartender says up till 6 o'clock.
Right.
The other bartender, the girl with short hair,
Right.
all night long. When she's there, she'll order food for you all night.
Oh,
long.
really?
So that's even more confusing because you don't know which bartender to order the food from.
That's what I mean. It's a little confusing, that place. I guess just go in there and have fun.
Just have fun.
and
Just
if they won't
relax.
serve you food, go get a pizza.
Yeah, it's just get off the stool,
Yeah.
take a beer, and go grab you.
Go get a
something.
slice at Metro because it's really good. Or if you want to take a break from drinking and playing, go with that barbecue, which I've never tried. I hear it's great.
I'm gonna have to do that one.
So Ellis Island's awesome, and the karaoke literally is amazing all night.
That sound.
Every night, and that's something that we get asked a lot of questions. Where do we go to karaoke?
In fact, you guys introduced me to that place last year before I moved here.
Oh, there you go.
Introduced me. Yeah, it was me
I remember
and
that
a
night.
few of our friends. We went to Ellis Island, and
You sang Jeffrey Osborne.
I sang Jeffrey Osborne.
And we're like, what the heck song is this?
Yeah,
Like, you think the most obscure karaoke song ever. Anyway, but it's a wonderful place. Stage door, A plus.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that place.
That's now good.
I mean, I was like, always like, God, do I ever want to go in this place? It looks kind of like sleazy.
It looks
like,
a little
yes,
seedy.
let's go in there.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Weston and Platinum. Whatever.
Yeah.
If you're staying there.
Yeah, it's all good.
So anyway, I don't think that's our adventure.
That was quite the adventure, too.
It was quite the adventure. But now you heard enough from us. Let's hear from you in a little segment called Hey, Bartender. We were thinking about making a mind meld, but I didn't have, there was something in it, a lot of juice or something.
Some kind of juice?
Some kind of juice
Pineapple
that I didn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, well, James tea. In fact, I'm going to make a half James tea.
There you go.
Even though I can't believe they put 15 ounces in just that much, 15 ounces of 7-Up. That wouldn't be strong enough.
Yeah. I don't know what.
But
Yeah. Maybe they're
I think Dave's getting kind of shorted there, by the way.
Well, he is.
Flash.
PD got kind of screwed up.
Oh, that happens.
it happens.
Yeah.
They're only halfies.
Yeah.
You know, we got
Just a refresher.
got things to do. No diet is young. Okay, I'm going to read an email. Dear Koval Krawl.
It's a 40-minute show, man. Come on.
Who's poop? Okay. Anyway, no, we did get a great email that I can't wait till next week. Love the show. Just want to thank you for opening a whole new world to me. A whole new world.
Oh, no. Cut him off, Mr. Keeler. Can we edit that out?
Until listening to your show, I was pretty much a beer and wine guy. But each week, your cocktails and appreciation for them intrigued me, so I started trying to make them myself. My appreciation for cocktails. My parents would be so proud of me. I have now fully stocked bar at home and enjoy making drinks for myself, wife, and friends. This was great until my third DUI, and now I'm in triple. Oh, wow. No, I'm kidding. Thanks again. See the pic of the bar, which is an awesome bar. Puts mine to shame. Also, check out the Mixology app. Has loads of cocktails plus a cabinet feature, blah, 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 blah. That's what I use to make my drinks, sir. I kid not.
Really?
Yes, the Mixology app. It says better than reading page after page of drinks. Maddie B from Perth, Australia.
Wow.
Look at that.
That is amazing.
I tell you, because what had happened to us, and I have I opted for the one that you buy, not just the free Mixology app. There's the Mixologist and the whatever. I bought the $2 one or whatever, the whopping $2. You see how we roll, where this drink will have Galliano in it that week, or Maraschino that week. Well, what am I going to do with this bottle of Galliano? So that's where that app is insane, because you type in what you have and it tells you what you can make.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
that's really cool. That actually is probably a good tool for people who want to learn how to become a bartender.
Right. Well, that's what it is. But it's yeah. So anyway, thank you, Maddie. I can't thank you enough, and I'm glad we could help.
You know, I want to comment on that real quick. It's really awesome that people watch this show or listen to the show, and basically they're just creating all these drinks now, and they've got all this booze in their house. We're basically creating a world of alcoholism.
Well, no, we're not. No. See, we're helping people enjoy
life. No. Spirits.
Well, like we said, he was drinking anyway. He was
Okay.
he was a wino. So it's right here.
A wino?
Yeah, well, no. He was a beer and wine guy. But in fact, what I'd like to know, Matt, is did you try the drink last week? The one last week and the one before. Those were insane. This again is a Long Island, so you know what that is. But the last one, and those were pretty mixology heavy. I think next week's a sidecar, so get prepared.
Sidecar, I've had one of those.
Yeah, we're gonna go back.
Is there a rail car and a sidecar?
Not that I know of.
I've heard.
I've been off the rails on a
Off
crazy
the rail.
train. Yeah.
There you go. That could be next week's.
But thank you, Matt. And doesn't happen in Vegas, and it surely doesn't happen to Sage Door because it's 24 hours. But it does happen on this show, and it is called Last Call.
Yeah.
This is how you find out how not to get knocked up, knocked out, thrown out, thrown up, or thrown in jail in Las Vegas. Friend of mine, we'll call him Portland Dave, texted me, I think this morning, with this little tidbit. This is a great tip. Hard Rock has a graveyard happy hour. All casino bars, 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day. But what's the deal? Half price?
2 for 1.
2 for 1. Well,
2 for 1. Well, yeah, so 2
wow.
for 1. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, any casino bar at the Hard Rock from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's a long happy hour to begin with.
I know.
But-
And it starts early, 12 a.m. I'm
12.
not even getting close to done by that point.
Yeah. So if
Really?
you're like hanging out somewhere and you're, oh man, this place is lame or the show is over, where do we want to go?
Go to Hard Rock.
Go to Hard Rock, 2 for 1 cocktails and just all night.
That's great. And if you get out, and if you don't have to be to work, if you have to be to work early, like 7, 8 o'clock, you stop there on the way in.
Yeah, I don't think that would work for me, man.
You know what? I told Alicia that because she goes to work pretty early. So she's like, well, I got to be at work 7 o'clock or whatever. I said, well, but Hooters has quarter wings till 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You can stop in there for breakfast.
There you go.
And she looked at me like, like I'm going to eat quarter wings for breakfast? Well, I don't know. I mean, I would have. I don't know. By the way, so I did get my wing story. I do have a little wing story. So I had the wings at Ellis Island, but they were these little, they were awful.
Yeah.
No, but apparently the wings there are great, just not the dollar wings for $5 for a buck. They were fine for $5 for a buck. Now last night I went out and got super mega hot wings at Rum Runner.
Oh boy.
I got the number 6. They only make 7 is unbearable. In fact, we tried them and couldn't have them.
Yeah.
I got 6 wings last night. No, I didn't. I got the level 6 wings.
Level 6. You got 10,
12.
12 wings. Level
So
6.
I was feeling pretty bad when I got home. Like,
Should.
and well, it wouldn't be the heat. So I go into speaking of my apps, I go into my Fit Day app. I'm thinking, well, how many calories are in 12 wings? Wow, 1,560.
Damn.
And
I
then,
never knew
well,
that.
how much fat? Oh, 107 grams. I'm not doing wings anymore. So that was my last. That was, we'll call it wing weekend, and that's it for me with wings.
Man.
Hideous. 1,500 calories?
That's a lot. That's wow.
That's why I'm wearing a vest today. Like, man, I'm just wearing a shirt. Woo! All right. Anyway, if you've got a story about your bar and what you're doing and want to tell us how awesome you are now, we're pubcrawl at vegasvideonetwork.com. Pubcrawl at vegasvideonetwork.com. Anything, let us know. We're getting some pretty good emails. Twitter, we're the LV Locals, and we're getting lots of followers, and I always tweet where we're at because I used Foursquare and it all tweets, I guess, not twit.
Tweet.
And the network is Vegas Video Network at Twitter. We are also on iTunes, audio and video. I think you have to do the video if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But don't drive and watch the video.
No.
Drive and listen.
recommend
KSHP, Friday nights, AM, Las Vegas, Nevada. So cool. YouTube,
It's 1400
iTunes,
a.m.
1400 AM. It's so killer. And remember, got to thank the live chat. See? Alicia wasn't here to go, wait, you jumped the gun. Thank the live chat room. Woo! And the live studio audience. Woo!
Yeah. All of you.
Yes.
And thank you.
Remember, Pub Crawl urges you to drink responsibly, which we do, unless you're at stage door.
Yes.
$1.50. It's hard to be responsible.
Yeah.
Actually, that's very economically responsible.
It is.
Your CPA guy would go, well, all right, you can have drinks there. It's $1.50. What are you gonna do? But we do leave stuff out, but we don't make stuff up.
Stuff up.
Until next week, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers.
Cheers.